Hi, welcome to week 2. And this week we are going to be talking about recruitment, selection, and hiring processes. As you begin to think about this week's assignment, please make sure that you have reviewed the rubric and to look at the criteria that's necessary for you to meet column 4, which is exceeds criteria. Make sure that you look at each of the columns so that you know what's expected to receive the most points. So in part 1, what you're going to do is to meet with a minimum of 3 classroom teachers, and you're going to engage in an activity where you are reflecting on the Model Code of Ethics for Educators from the National Association of State Directors of Teacher Education and Certification. What you're going to be doing with your team is to develop a set of norms or core beliefs that you can use to develop interview questions for prospective candidates. Make sure that your norms support the educational success and well-being of each student, and that you'll be able to demonstrate these core beliefs through the development of a teacher profile that also supports the educational success and well-being of students and teachers. You're going to articulate your understanding and capacity to undertake and implement this type of work within a school setting. So the first thing you'll do is to use the link and review that MCEE so that you can create your core beliefs on that model. You're going to then, number 2, create a teacher profile that will be part of those dispositions, and you'll use that as you think about screening and selection for your teachers. So example, you might say the ideal teaching candidate is a student-centered lifelong learner who is aligned with our mission and vision of the school and is a collaborative team member. That would be based on the fact that you believe that your core beliefs are that you are a student-centered school, you believe that everyone's a lifelong learner, and so that's how your profile is going to align with those dispositions. And then number 3, you're going to develop 4 or 5 interview questions that align with those core beliefs and your candidate profile. Make sure that you go back and look at week 1, legal policy DAA, when you're developing those questions to make sure that your questions are legal. And then include questions that you have that might be based on your campus vision, mission, and improvement plan. Also, they must be aligned with the EEOC guidelines, so you shouldn't be asking questions about race, national origin, religion, gender, sexual orientation, disability, and etc. And then question number 4 is, as a future leader, why do you think it's important for you to establish norms and beliefs in an ideal teacher profile? And then part 2 is going to be on your recruitment, selection, and hiring plan. And so normally, prior to developing a comprehensive recruitment, selection, and hiring approach, districts will start looking at what their staffing needs are, and their recruitment efforts should be used to determine those needs. So you're going to take this chart that's below, and you're going to meet with your mentor, and you're going to be talking about the teachers that you have on your campus. You do not have to include every teacher that's on your campus. This is just to get a sampling of who's on your campus so that you can make suggestions about where there's a gap in teacher need. So if you can't meet with your mentor, go to a handful of teachers. I'd say 8 to 10 teachers, and ask them these questions and see if they'll give that information to you. If you cannot get that information, then my suggestion to you is just create your own data. The purpose of this activity is just to give you an idea about some things that you might be looking at when you're determining needs on your campus. So don't stress about trying to get this completed. For the last column where it says identify the skill level, what you're looking for is 1 or 2 areas where this teacher has some strength. So you might say, well, this teacher's great at communication and they're great at confidence. And as you start looking at this, you can say, oh, look, we don't have anyone that has classroom management skills, or we've got a gap in teachers who have technology skills. Or you might say, oh, we have a gap in teachers who are certified in elementary math or whatever. So that's what you're looking for in this actual chart. Again, don't stress. It's just about getting the data in there if you so that you can start making some decisions. And then you're going to use the data from the chart and your knowledge and experience about schools, and you're going to answer some questions about the gaps and to find out the story of your school. So where are your content gaps? What percentage of your teachers are teaching outside their certification area? So here are the questions that you're going to ask about that. And now the next thing that you're going to do is use all that information that you have. And the next part is to develop a recruitment and selection and hiring and induction process. And there are questions that will help you to determine that. So you're going to answer the questions. There are 10 questions there. There is not a part 3. I apologize. We moved that to another week, trying to make this week not quite as challenging as it has been in the past. So where it says week 2, assignment part 3, you don't have to do anything. So I hope this helps get you through the week, and we'll see you during the web.